Okay, if we could have your attention, please. We are now joined by our second place qualifier, Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 M&M's Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Kyle will join his teammate on the front row for Sunday's Hollywood Casino 400, and this is his 22nd top 10 start of 2016. So Kyle, congratulations on a great run. If you would mind, just talk a little bit about your car and your outlook for this weekend.
Our car was pretty good. We certainly felt pretty happy with it earlier today and through practice and having a fast car there, so that was really strong and showing the speed that we have, and just trying to mimic that here today. And qualifying, I felt like we did a really good job of that in the second round, and I felt even better about my lap in the third round, but Matt was just able to get a little bit more out of it. So, certainly messed up a little bit, just the way the car was balanced through 1 and 2, being prepared for it and being able to get the most out of it. I had to relift and get out of the gas in turn 2, so that's probably where our time was. But happy with second, especially to Matt. This is a really good place for him, arguably one of his best tracks. So to be second to him is not too shabby.
Okay, we'll open up for questions. Here we'll start in the front with Reed and then go to the back.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. I heard you say out on pit road that Matt's helped you here at Kansas quite a bit. Did he keep 1/1000th of a second in his pocket?
Well, I mean, we've talked a little bit, and I've certainly used some of the things that we've talked about with all my teammates in order to get better here, but it was more so just looking and studying about technique and things that he does, and being able to work on how Matt carries his car around the track and where he makes his speed, and me trying to be able to do the same thing. So, a lot of it had just come through technique and being able to mimic some of the things that he does, and we've gotten a lot better at that. Certainly, I think our balance could have been a tick better in order to just give me a little bit more security and feeling in order to go out there and run 2000s faster.
Hey, Kyle, Randy Kovitz, Kansas City Star. You snapped the streak here in May, finally. Is this kind of a carryover? I mean, just really feeling confident here now that you got that monkey off your back?
Yeah, certainly I'd like to think so. Running well here. The last couple of times in the fall races, I think we've had top 5 finishes each time, and being able to win here this spring was certainly a confidence booster for sure, and being able to understand and know that I can do it. There were a couple guys that were really fast along with us in May that I'm sure we'll have to contend with this time around as well, and it's just a testament to all of us at Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota to be able to do what we've done and have all three of us from Joe Gibbs in the front 3 spots, and then obviously Martin Truex there in 4th. That was really good too.
Additional questions for Kyle? Okay, we'll take one from Kenny Bruce.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. Kyle, when you talk about mimicking what Matt was doing and stuff, when the track changes, do you have to change what maybe you were doing at that point?
Yeah, certainly do. You gotta change what you're doing as the pace slows down and what the pace does and where you move around on the racetrack. So, trying to utilize those tools and understanding where he was running in some of those laps that I was looking at in data. That certainly was confusing and sometimes challenging. But you try to go back and watch the race at the same time as you're looking at the data and see where he's running on the racetrack. So that'll tell you a pretty good answer. So. Probably giving away too many secrets for all the younger guys to figure out, so I better stop talking.
Any final questions? Okay, we'll go back to Randy.
Kyle, as the reigning champion, just kind of talk about just the feeling as we're in the chase again, and the advanced one round, and obviously things are a little precarious for round. Just talk about the mindset of the defending champion right now.
I would say just trying to stay pretty even. Don't get too excited, don't get too down. We certainly had a really good first round that went really well for us, and we've got a good start to the next round with our finish that we had last week at Charlotte. So that's a start, but anything can happen. So we certainly just got to make sure that we take what's given to us. That's what we did last year. There were some times that we didn't get the finishes that we wanted, but we still were able to transfer through. So this year we'll try to get the finishes that we do want, and make our way through the rounds if possible and get to the end. So, certainly you're on the highest of highs at the checker flag at Homestead last year, and it just kind of continues to diminish all the way through this year because you try to repeat, and if you can repeat, then you'll be at the highest of highs again. But eventually in about 7 weeks, your reign of being reigning champion is over. So you've got to go out and, like I said, you try to repeat if you can.
Okay, we'll take a question from Jerry.
Kyle, Jerry Jordan, former Racing Network and Kicking the Tires. Set this up a little bit. Earlier today, I talked to Grant Lynch at Talladega, and he said if a driver tells you that they like our track or it's their favorite track, they're lying to you. What is your mindset racing at Talladega next weekend with this being elimination and everything?
I'll start it out the same way I just did the previous question. You just try to stay even. I mean, you try not to get too worried about it or too jacked up about it or too down about it or anything like that. You know, it's just another race that we've got to go to, and it's on the schedule. And, you know, I don't know. I've been really excited to go there before and think, man, I've got bad luck out of my way, and I'm going to go there and I'm going to win this thing, and I'm wrecked. I'm on the hook, you know. And then there's other times where I go there and I'm just beat from all the bad luck that I've had lately or around that race, and I go out and finish second or something, you know. So it's just, it can go either way for you. It's just such a crapshoot. So you just try to take what's given to you in that event and move on. You know, obviously a couple of years ago it was very, very hard to handle, getting crashed out, trying to run in the back and stay out of everybody's way. And then last year we ran the race as if we had nothing to lose, and I think we finished top 10 somewhere and barely made it in just by 1 point to transfer through, you know. So it was kind of a crazy outcome.
Any final questions? Okay, Kyle, thank you for your time. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Okay, if we could have your attention, please. We are now joined by our Coors Light Pole Award winner, Matt Kenseth, driver of the number 20 DEWALT FLEXVOLT Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. This is his 18th career pole and his first pole and 20th top 10 start in 2016. So, Matt, congratulations. Just talk a little bit about your run out there and how you're feeling about this weekend.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it's our first pole of the year. So qualifying this year, I feel like we've been a little bit more inconsistent than we've been in years past. At JGR for me, so I haven't done the best job of getting all 3 rounds put together. So we're pretty good the first one, we're off a little bit the second one. Jason made some great adjustments, and it was pretty much just right the third one. We still almost got beat. We barely got it, but I felt like we got everything out of it, and I thought we hit the balance right, so ended up getting a decent lap. Smoked you. Smoked them.
Okay, we'll now open up for questions for Matt. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We will get a microphone to you.
That's what you get right there.
We'll start over here with Kenny.
You remember the last time you won a pole?
No. Or was it here?
I don't even
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where it was. I don't remember stuff like that very good.
How does that change the start of the race from you being out front like that?
Well, there's somebody in front of you.
Pace car.
I don't know. I mean, you always want to qualify good. Obviously, track position's always important, and you want to get a pit stall down there, and you want to be able to control the restarts. So in the spring, we had a really good car here, but I never got control of the restarts, and we ran second a lot, restarted second a lot to the 78 and to the 18, and I could just never get through 1 and 2, and I never could get the lead rustled away. So I think it's definitely an advantage to have control of that, but you have to be able to keep that all day.
Is this a track where inside, outside makes a difference?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's situation dependent when you get back farther in track, but yeah, I feel like it does for sure. I mean, I think the track has changed quite a bit. They did a nice job for a repay. This is probably the best one we've had. You know, it really came in rather quickly, and they did a good job with that banking, making it a little bit different, and it seems like the middle is kind of the preferred line now once the race gets going after you run a few laps on tires. So it kind of opens up the bottom and opens up the top, so it lends to pretty good racing.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Jerry and then come up to Randy and Brant.
Tongue-in-cheek here, but here with, basically you're starting your own pedal car series now. You got 6 of these things.
Or what?
Pedal car series, is that what you've got?
Oh.
Is that what you're starting now?
Yeah, the kids all got one, so that's cool.
Well,
They don't have to fight over it.
I think they were trying to pass them out to other people.
Yeah, they don't drop them very often, though. You know, kids these days are pretty spoiled. They all want electric Jeeps and things.
Okay, next question from Randy.
They don't want to pedal.
Talk a little bit about got this Joe Gibbs Racing traffic jam these first two rows. Can you just kind of talk about what this says about how you guys are going right now?
Yeah, I mean, we've all had, obviously the year's been pretty solid for the organization. We all had pretty good speed today. I think we got 5 of us in the top 7 or something like that. So that's obviously pretty impressive from an organization standpoint. So I'm just glad we got one. So I've been beat. Those guys got a lot of poles this year, 78 and 19, and all those guys won poles, 11, 18, everybody except for me. So I was glad to finally get one. So it's great having teammates that are that good, but it's also hard to ever beat them, So I was glad we got one today.
Go ahead, Brant.
Brant James, USA Today Sports. How much lighter has the load mentally been coming into this year compared to last? Because the point situation for you is a lot better this year than it was last.
Coming here?
Yeah, like as compared to this time last year.
I don't know. I try not to get too far one way or another. We had a really good run last week, good finish. Some people had some trouble. But with that being said, it's only one race out of 3, and if it happened to somebody else last week, it can just as easily happen to us this week. So you just never know what's going to happen. Never like to take anything for granted at all. So I'm glad we came here and we were strong today, and hopefully we can get it running good in race trim tomorrow. Have a strong day on Sunday, and then see what it looks like after that.
Next question from Pat.
Pat Ticola, NASCAR.com. A lot of drivers came in here today talking about how they need to win this weekend so they can not really worry about Talladega, but you don't really seem like the kind of guy that worries or really looks that far in the future. Do you feel that pressure at all with Talladega looming, or what?
I mean, I think you want to win every weekend. There's ever since this chase thing, there's always so much talk about, winning and desperation and all this stuff. I've never been in a race I didn't want to win, and I didn't do everything I could to try to win the race within a certain extent. So for me, that doesn't really change. I mean, you want to have good weeks every week. If you don't win, you want to finish as high as you can, and obviously the higher you finish, the more points you get. So I mean, you always try to do that. I don't think you really do any extra, or you don't. I don't. For instance, at 48, I don't think he's going to ride around in the back this week because he's already locked in for the next round. I mean, I think everybody shows up with the idea of trying to win.
Additional questions for Matt? Hey, Matt, congratulations. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming in. Good luck this weekend.